So this is an interview with Professor Mark Dziuba of the SUNY New Paltz Music Jazz Department. Well, thank you for having me. Thank you for allowing me to interview you. So a little history about Professor Dziuba. He's a guitarist, improviser, and composer with over 40 years of experience.
Yeah, it's like 50 now. Gotta update that.
He's a director of the SUNY New Paltz Jazz Department. He's also a member of the Professors, alongside keyboardist and recording studio engineer Vinny Murchie, drummer Jeff Segal, and bassist Rich Syracuse, who will be all at the upcoming Faculty Jazz Ensemble at SUNY New Paltz, September 30th, 2025. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you.
So, how has jazz music influenced your life?
Wow. Incredibly. It's been a journey, because when I first started playing, I kind of started with rock and something called fusion, which was like a blending of rock and jazz. And then I started to understand and explore more traditional jazz musicians. And, learning how to play jazz, it makes you a better musician. Because it's really difficult music. I mean, you have to kind of understand how it works and kind of let go and really make it happen in the moment. So it's still continuing, man. I feel like, this far in terms of being like a jazz musician.
Always growing, even
Absolutely.
with all the experience.
On a daily basis, honestly.
So, the Faculty Ensemble is coming near. What can we expect from it?
Well, all my colleagues are great musicians. They've been around quite a while, playing music every day of their lives, teaching music every day of their lives, touring around the world. So you will expect some really great musicianship. And I think the greatest thing is we're all really close friends. So when we play, we really listen to each other intensely. And that's what the music's all about, just listening and communicating.
So you've been part of the music department of SUNY New Paltz for nearly 37 years. How has that evolved? How has the music department changed over the years you've been here?
Boy, you got an afternoon to talk about that. Well, there's been a lot of different personnel. People have retired, new people have come. The program has expanded. When I came here, there was no electronic music program. There was no jazz studies program. There's methods that are, better than others that have been adopted. It's become an option to study this kind of music in just about any university. There may not be, jazz studies degrees in every university, but there's always a history of jazz class, usually a jazz improv class, jazz ensembles. So it's been recognized more.
Was there something in particular that drew you to jazz to study and focus on, or?
Well, when I was 14, I started playing, and I hooked up with a really interesting, wonderful teacher that was in a group that played a wide variety of stuff. It was probably called prog rock back then, the music of early Genesis and King Crimson and Emerson, Lake and Palmer. And then they would do some interesting fusion numbers too, like from Mahavishnu Orchestra, which is John McLaughlin back then, Jean-Luc Ponty, French violinist. So that sort of eclectic fusion thing brought me to traditional jazz eventually.
Do you have any advice for any future aspiring musicians coming to the field?
Yeah, I would say, number one is just play as much as you can. Just play. I mean, I play every day. Most of the musicians that I know that have been doing it for as long as I have, pick up their instrument on a daily basis and put a lot of work into learning repertoire and getting better. And you have to be a little OCD about it. And to just, when you play a lot, you kind of discover who you are as a player. And if you don't play as much, sometimes you might get intimidated by the other person that you think is so much better than you. That's a waste of time. I mean, it's important to be inspired by people that maybe can do something a little more proficient than you. But that's all the more reason to pick up the instrument or sing and play as much as you can, because you've only got one lifetime to do it. And, you'll never master the instrument in one lifetime. And I don't know if you'd ever master it in 10 lifetimes. So if you love what you're doing, just do it a lot. And, discover all the joy and all the frustration. And I think it makes you a better person in the long run. And it allows you to be able to communicate with anybody. So that's my advice. Just play as much as you can.
Thank you. Thank
You bet,
you.
man. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you for having me. This has been Adrian Hernandez with Professor Mark Dziuba of SUNY New Paltz faculty. Thank you.